Okay, warning. I am mad. Okay, yeah, I'm real mad right now, but I got to talk to you guys for a minute. Got to take a break from to share with you guys what's going on. Yesterday was Human Rights Day. We've celebrated that day since 1950. And once again, Speaker Pelosi is playing games. And this doesn't just involve Speaker Pelosi, as you're about to hear. It also involves the leader of the Senate, Schumer, as well as President Biden. So earlier this week, she had this huge, grand speech where the House passed a bill, finally passed a bill recognizing and trying to put economic sanctions to help stop the importation of goods that are being made by slave labor of the Uyghur people. Now, I don't know if you've been following the Uyghur people, but I have over the last few years, and it will break your heart to hear what China is doing. And it's not just the Uyghur people, but they're a great example, and you don't even need to go further as far as understanding that we have got to stand up to China. So the Uyghur people are being put into concentration camps, slave labor camps. They're trying to force them to think and conform to what the communist Chinese leaders want. Now, again, when I say Chinese, I'm not talking about yours and my Chinese friends here. They're here because they stand against this, okay? But the Chinese communist rulers are a part of such atrocities that we have got to all wake up and stand up to China for so many reasons. But have you heard about the harvesting of organs, where they are literally killing these people, harvesting their organs and selling them on the market? This is not a joke, y'all. This is not a joke. They're raping, and I don't even want to describe to you. You will have nightmares and not be able to sleep if you knew what they're doing to this people. Man, it just makes me mad. There are things I don't even want to speak of right now. I'm talking horrible, torturing, unreal, especially to women. I got 4 daughters. When I think about what they're doing, I start thinking about what I would do to somebody who were to mess with one of them, right? So this is happening. So back to Pelosi. She passes this bill, gives this grand old speech about human rights and everything. And guess what yesterday was again? Human Rights Day. Did they pass that bill and send it? Did they send that bill over to the Senate? No. They passed over 30 bills yesterday, sent them directly to the Senate. But did they send this bill? No. Why? Because Biden won't sign it. It's the same reason that Senator Schumer is sitting on a bill that Senator Rubio has been talking about. You've probably heard him talking about it for a long time, trying to get this out of the Senate. And will Schumer hear it? No. Why not? Because Biden won't do anything about it. Why won't Biden do anything about it? Because Biden, in his own admission, is friends with Xi Jinping, the president of China. Xi Jinping called Biden his friend. Biden bragged about how he could get things done with China because he had this great relationship, how they had spent just, hours upon hours, 17,000 miles traveling. Remember him saying that? Traveling across China. Recently, again, no wonder Xi Jinping says he's his friend. They're friends. Let me say, you can't be a friend with China. We need elected officials who, like Trump, will stand up to, but they won't because we're in bed. We're in bed with China. And so our leaders refuse to stand up. And if we don't stand up now, it'll be too late. And this is just the beginning of the human right violations, as I said. It's just the beginning. The Uyghur people is just one example. By the way, why do they hate the Uyghur people so much? Well, I don't claim to fully know, but they stood up and fought for independence back prior to 1933, 1944. They stood up to China and they got squashed. So, president sees these people probably as independent thinkers that aren't going to go along with his communist rule. And so What does he do? He squashes them, tortures them, kills them, and tries to do this all secretly while we turn the other head and act like it didn't happen. Or Pelosi stands up under pressure, passes a bill, and then does nothing with it. I don't care what bills you pass. If you sit on it and don't send it over to the Senate, it never has a chance. They control the White House, the House, and the Senate. We've got to put a stop to this. That's why my election is the most important election of the year here in Georgia, across the entire country, and for that matter, around the world. We have got to stop and put a check on the Biden, Pelosi, and Schumer power triangle. This has got to stop. Speaking of China's regime of oppression, again, it goes beyond the Uyghur people, and the genocide against the Uyghurs, their campaign of oppression against the Tibetan people, the assault on basic freedoms in Hong Kong. Did you see what happened in October, where they flexed their muscles to try to intimidate and scare Taiwan by flying 145 fighter jets into their interior space over 4 days? They know they can get away with all this because Biden won't stand up. They're friends. And so I am asking you, for the love of God and the love of this country and for the love of the world, the U.S. has got to maintain its strength. We have got to get rid of this corrupt triangle of power, and we need to send Raphael Warnock home, and I'm the only person in this race who can win in November. Why? I'm the only one. We're running for the highest legislature in the land, the U.S. Senate, 6-year term. I'm the only one who has legislative experience in this race. I'm the only one with a proven conservative record. I'm the only one who has been in the trenches fighting to get constitutional conservatives elected since I got out of high school. I've served on campaigns. I've served in the party positions trying to help get good, conservative, God-fearing constitutionalists elected. Was this a plan of mine? No. But you know what? When duty calls, we've got to step up. I got 4 brothers who have served on either side. They've faced death. Many of them have been in the trenches on the front lines. Don't get me started on Biden and Afghanistan. 4 of them have been over there, risked their life. What an absolute sham we have. We have got to stand up. And if you agree that the Democrat Party shouldn't control all 3, the triangle there of the White House, the House, and the Senate, then help me take back the Senate. This is the most likely seat to flip. These issues are serious. We have got to wake up, even during this Christmas season, and get involved. Please help me out. Please refer people I should speak to, because I believe, y'all, there is hope. As worked up and angry as I am right now, every generation of Americans has stood up and overcome the challenges. That's why our slogan is overcome together, because we can overcome together. And I have confidence that we will. And that's why my wife and I, that's why our family, that's why I quit my job. That's why I went all in on this, because Americans of every generation have made sacrifices. It's our time to make a sacrifice. And so will you step up? Will you join? Will you volunteer? Will you sacrificially give? And together we will win and we will overcome. Thank you so much for taking a few minutes on this Saturday morning. I'm sure you had other things to do, and taking time to like this, share it, and go to votejosh.com to support us and help us win in November. Thank you so much. God bless.